Hi, everyone. My name is Ramon Castillo, and I'm here to talk a little bit about a piece I'm composing for the Kronos Quartet. It's a work in progress, and the piece is going to feature a number of electronic components, some sound design. So I thought I'd walk you through my setup, show you some of the hardware and software that I've been using for the project. And there's quite a bit of equipment that I've been using to get the sounds just right. So I'm going to start from the very beginning here. And the first piece of hardware we're going to look at is this very colorful device here, the PreSonus Studio Live 1602. It's one of PreSonus's Firewire mixers. It's the smallest one of the bunch. There's two that are larger than this, but I actually wanted to use the smallest one. It does everything that I could possibly ever want to do, and then some. So one thing you might notice is right up here we've got a meter jumping. This is the microphone that I'm talking into, and that's actually how I'm recording the sound of my voice. Um, one of the really great things about this mixer is that it's very flexible. There's not a ton of controls right on the front, so it's pretty easy to pick up. Usually, if you want to change, for instance, the EQ, the compression of one of the channels, you can go directly into that and control each individual track separately. A lot of the basic controls are just laid out here right on the front. We've got the 16 channels of sliders right here, 4 aux sends, and the main slider. The dials that you see up here are flexible. They can do a number of different things depending on what mode you're in. There's so many great features. I don't even know where to start. One of the really cool things about this is that I can actually set my sliders ahead of time and save them as a scene. There's a bunch of there's a screen that you can see. You probably can't read it, but on the screen I can save the location of the sliders, the sends, the firewire controls, all this sort of stuff, monitor controls, and save it as a scene and dial it up anytime I want in a flash. And I'll show you a little bit of that in just a bit. This is a firewire capable mixer, as I mentioned. So I'm going to tap the firewire button here, and you can see that we've got some lights that turn on. The lights basically refer to audio that is coming from the computer. And so what I can actually do is send audio. In this case, I'm going to be sending audio on channels 1 and 2, and I have the option of sending on 5 and 6 in this case, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to use 1 and 2 for this demonstration. At the same time, if I have a program loaded up like Ableton Live, that's the DAW that I'm using, it's constantly monitoring anything that's coming into these channels. So, for instance, I have the microphone hooked up to channel 3, and that means I can record on channel 3 in Ableton Live if I want to. Okay. One of the things I want to show you is how easy it is to route things. I've got a number of effects. You can see the Moog Fogers over here. These are 3 Moog pedals that do a variety of different things. I've got a ring modulator turned on right now, so I'm going to send my voice to the ring modulator, and maybe I'll send a couple of other signals to the ring modulator in a bit. But I'll show you just how easy this is. In order to set up a send, in order to route something outside of the mixer, one of the things I have to do is, first of all, bring up the level here of the aux send. Okay, there's nothing actually routed there right now, but we want to have that ready to go once I turn some of these other knobs. Okay, next what I want to do is tap over here on aux 3. Make sure that light is glowing. Sometimes you have to tap it a couple of times to get it into the right mode, but we shouldn't see anything here on these meters. You'll notice that the sound of my voice is no longer making that 1 meter jump. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this knob right here, and what that is doing is actually sending the signal from channel 3 to the aux 3 send. Okay. And aux 3, as I said before, is going over to the Moog pedals. And you can start, it might be a little bit hard to see, but you can see some of the lights starting to jump a little bit. Those are the meters built directly into the Moog pedals. And what that means is I should be able to start hearing a sound when I bring up this slider here. You'll notice that the quality of my voice has changed, and there's a kind of wavery effect, a wavy effect. You might not be able to understand me, but let me bring this down so you can hear just the Moog pedals. Here is a ring modulator. So I just have a ring modulator set up there. It's not a super fast frequency, but you can get a sense of what that sounds like. I have a synthesizer hooked up here. Switch back to the input mode so you can see what's going on. Channels 13, 14, 15, 16 have the synthesizer. I'm only letting you hear channel 13 and 14, just the stereo signal of the synthesizer, and it's already preset. And I'm going to bring up the aux send here as well. So I tapped on aux 3, and I'm sending a signal now to the aux 3, which means the Moog Fogers are receiving that signal, and we can hear what the synthesizer sounds like through the ring modulator. So it's as simple as that. Okay, it's as simple as assigning things. I've spent a lot of time getting things routed ahead of time, and now that it's all set up, I can just in a flash send stuff from one place to the next. It's really great for adding some external effects and using actual hardware effects instead of simply using software effects. I'm going to switch over to the computer screen here and show you a bit of the software that actually comes with the Studio Live mixer. You can integrate this into your computing package if you're using a DAW. Like I said, I'm using Ableton Live for a lot of the stuff. You can integrate this mixer really simply. And part of the way you can do that is with this program right here. This is what's called Universal Control. PreSonus packages this with the mixer. Any of the mixers that you purchase would come with this software, and you'll notice that it looks very much like the mixer itself. It's not quite as colorful, but that doesn't bother me too much. You'll also notice that things look a little bit different. Okay, the mixer over here is not reflecting exactly what's happening over here on the interface, the computer interface. Channel 13 and 14 are up, whereas you can see very clearly that they are down over here. Well, that's because this mixer does not have motorized faders. It's not going to bring the actual hardware slider up to the right level. However, you'll notice that there is computer feedback. So whenever I move this mixer around, whenever I move this slider around, you can see that it's changing on the on-screen mixer. And that's actually why we were hearing the synthesizer before. Notice we don't hear anything with the slider down, but we do hear something when the slider is up.